Abusuya Kennedy a compare kwa Agyapong lawyer William Kusi no ye spokesperson ne odi nsem kakra tudwa efa Mensah bonsu chairman Wontumi na nabi ene Justin Frimpong kodua na abusuya wo kiremu a so munim no mo force the top down approach e hye nipa kon ne yekoto abane wi a ene Dr. Mahamadu Bawumianko a ene obeye ne campaign isan sentitimu abeba fom no amanfo omobuafu no enya de so mo be support no
enti if you show more sir declaration. Let me answer that question. Say we boys here declare my will. Especially Chairman Sabunsu, we could read also a lambasted several times. He was then the leader of parliament and he's supposed to be neutral. But he took sides and was supporting Bawumia openly. Chairman Wontumi, a chairman of a region, is a campaign manager of a candidate. So how would you balance it? How can it be fair during elections? I mean, I was thinking that these lessons will lead us to amend our constitution and ensure. So, like I said, if you find yourself in an executive position, you will remain neutral. Chairman Wontumi campaign or Yamabo, to be the chairman, no business our campaign, man. Okay. Meaning now towards having peace and other things in the party so that we can move on. And these are so fundamental. I'm surprised in Ntim executive, they don't know this.
But lawyer, so far, no, what to say, Stephen, Chairman Stephen, into what already press conference, talking about unity in the party, because so far, no NPP, they say, Asai cry, amount for Mudu, says NPP, what to say. Why press conference talking about unity in the party? So far, what do you have to say about that?
Well, it is easy to say. Because on niveau brabi at the unity party. Because omoko brabi na who can say we are all behind Bawumiana, you're not secretary so Mensah. Party chairman. How can you openly say we are all behind Bawumia? Okay. You see, so he has not done anything
positively for NPP.
For unity, not at all.
Okay.
He has not worked towards unity. And as a matter of fact, sad decision move say top bottom approach. Before it was implemented, the running mate of Bawumia was going around campaigning that we should go that way. Okay. What does it? And are you mentally handicapped? Say you got to party a problem by say man. You got top bottom approach. Okay. At the end of the day, when the committee sat and came out, they did that. They proposed that. I'm going to say Agyapong. Have you listened to him?
Yeah.
Well, see, he never proposed that. Okay. Your proposal is the especially expanding the base. Okay. And there's an agenda. Every commonsensical person understands that there's an agenda. So those of us who are protesting, and then they didn't approve, there's an agenda. Okay. But the results of the agenda will collapse the party. Okay. I can have a dissenting opinion, but as long as it will help the party, that is okay. But when they have to collapse the party, okay, they have to hold a top bottom approach. Now, Bawumia winning on the campaign because people will think that that's not Mensah. And when they see first one, that's why 2 million people they don't vote. Yeah, one of the factors. And to know me and winning, but it was a fair
election.
Exactly. But if you start this way, then you are creating the opportunity for people to say, okay, go and vote again. Okay. And where NPP for count, because I think that the leadership lacks some kind of wisdom. I tell you frankly, the party first. If the general secretary wants to be re-elected, that's not the way to go. Okay. Because the fact that you get Bawumia doesn't mean automatically people vote for you. If Asante does not support me, you lose. You should know that. Yeah. And some of the things, some of the mafia, a lack of intelligence. Okay. In the mafia. Okay. This will be more disastrous than the first one. Okay. When it's all incumbent, now you're 38 and now 41. And the same when you're 20 and now 25. Yeah. Because you have all the advantages. Yeah. Now when you're 41. Yeah. Look at them say 38. You see, now see, we'll be say 41. 41. You get the point. Yeah. And so we should not take it for granted. Say, if Kufuor 39 now. You can't compare to Bawumia's 41 because look, Kofi time now one is now president. Yeah. Dictatorship for a long time. Yeah. And you're paying a change about Democrats. Yeah. Opaque boss. Just say the election was full of rigging. Yeah, 39%, which was awesome. Yeah. What does it? Yeah. Professor Dubois, Only President Nyonya, we even wrote a stolen verdict. Meaning that the party itself understood that the thing was stolen. Can you say that of Baumia's 41%? No. We even had an advantage. We had appointed the electoral commission, and NEC was protesting.
Yeah.
And that is how bad the results was. So many things there. You have to. And if Akufo-Addo gets 49 point something, no Sankwa, which people be going 41% as an incumbent.
Okay.
Say Onuzu Yeman a chance. He deserves no chance at all.
Okay.
Because he can't perform.
Okay.
And it's a part in the person power they are. They should look at the things I've enumerated and work at it.
Okay.
Because it's very, very difficult for MPP to win power by Alhaji Bawumia. Even though I agree that he's a nice gentleman.
Okay.
He's not a winnable candidate.
Yeah.
And if you want to win power, we should look for somebody else, preferably Agyapong, whose action is loved by everybody.
Yeah. Okay. Last 3 days, Nami wa Madina, and the voice of the people were like, Yafa Kennedy, but he can be the second Rawlings in Ghana, because Ghana na se near 1 year president, but because they say Ghana ye shit. Ghana ye de inti ye president be o te say ye Kennedy akopekwe Japan and I say JJ Rawlings awonya ne baby eko woni omoye adwen o kwan beso.
Oh, me wo video bi kura our second JJ. That is the first Grammys.
Okay.
And I spoke about that.
Okay.
And that's what Ghanaians want now.
Okay.
Look, baby Edunu, baby and I'm not trust a nation.
Yeah.
We need a radical.
Yeah.
Seriously speaking.
Yeah.
And people outside are looking at the personality of Kennedy Agyapong as that person. I'm not saying Kennedy Agyapong is a perfect human being, but I tell you, his advantages is what the country likes now.
Yeah.
Somebody, a bit, yes, a president there, also a gentleman. I can't remember who is a Yanukure. Nimdia Kennedy Agyapong, Tino Kennedy Agyapong. Yeah. You call secondary school, no. From primary, you have a mouth proof that you be a profit.
Yeah.
And you graduated by national election.
Yeah.
But that is why we are where we are today. Okay. And one of the wise people I see Kennedy Agyapong asked me why.
Okay.
He's wise because he can harness his resources and create wealth.
Okay.
In fact, politics is about wealth creation. And you
yeah.
And you sorry.
And you're African.
Politics is sorry. And your wealth creation.
Yeah.
Obi obet ma create wealth amagana. No obet ma big Ghana.
Yeah.
Amagana akoso.
Okay.
And instead of looking for a gentleman, look for somebody who has the ability to create wealth.
Okay.
Bawumia has been vice president for 8 years.
Yeah.
Ask yourself, in his private life, what did he do for Ghana? Not even a single taxi for a driver to drive to make ends meet. What does it? So, within the time of a vice president, but in his private life, everybody who is made a vice president can do something in life. But we are looking at somebody who naturally has the ability. Michelle Papabi, he was a young man. And now, yes, you have a rice farm, and you have tells the Gumudo rice farm. That is when I met Kennedy Agyapong. Now, on I saw parliament. So, look, that innate gift, no one. That is what Ghana is yearning for.
Yeah.
Because Oba, I know the Bayer.
Yeah.
Also, called North, or the Bayer food, they are feeding the whole Africa.
Yeah.
Water Region Tourism Center. Those areas are maybe he has plans to invest it, said that Ghana will make money. Yes, is that what politics is about? I disagree. At the end before, yes, don't make the mistake.
Okay.
That's the regional executives be. I say me a firebrand. Now I'm saying chairman Ibisa say, and what we presently need as a party. It will be say unity or say now I'm saying unity. How does unity come? That's what you have to be thinking about, because you can't impose unity on people. It is a process. It's a process, and unity comes when you are so transparent.
Yeah.
That everything you do is known by anybody. Everybody will come along with you. Now they katasisha nuaso kwasiabuo abasura on the baba from. And that is what it is. And we have confront everybody it is any attitude no. And once you buy me free move. We are changing a national executive.
So deleting some people from the party.
They change your man. party be kama.
Okay.
Your chairman we go when man say papa during his tenure. Yeah. Just after we left office, they couldn't get money to pay workers in the office. Yeah. Let me tell you one thing. A party which has been in office for 8 years did not plan how to pay his workers when the party is not in power.
Okay.
Do you know what happened? No. All the resources of the party went to the presidency. Something that should not be. Because we had a weak chairman, weak general secretary, and the rest. The presidency was controlling.
Okay.
Should that happen?
No, please.
Look, where the margin about Canada, Agyapong. He had taken part in 1992. They wanted money. Canada, Agyapong, as a young businessman, gave them $300,000. Oma say Canadian contracts to Obapa. He gave Professor Dubois $300,000 for his campaign. That aside, when they had elected and chosen a young person policy, they needed a loan.
Okay.
Canada, Agyapong, and any business partner, they guaranteed a loan of 3 million Ghana cedis. Joining the business for only 8 years in 2 years. That time, the business every Biama Canada, Agyapong contract. And that argument, you say, we are benefiting from the party. I disagree. Somebody who made the party cannot benefit from the party.
Yeah.
He paid $300,000. He paid $3 million for the party to be established. Then on your contract, no, you say on no contract, why you know or you not party MPP man, me and MPP.
Okay.
Remember, he was a member of the Buzia Dampa. Satana Bomia and Disney.
Yeah.
All topic up, never Bomia and Disney.
Yeah.
Operations on Indian Sumase organizing never Bomia and Disney. And those people supporting Bomia, one more mobile trade, the Meteomase, but party for them supporting the Meteomase. One more mobile 22 near, you know, the Meteomase.
Yeah. Because they don't know the history.
They don't know the history, but those of us who know, we reward Obio money. Bomia has done little for the party. He has gained the 2 sensitive positions within 16 years.
Yeah.
And he already as well, also president there, yeah. But let us not give him an advantage over the rest, especially those who have fought for the party. What I say, that is what makes Canada Agyapong unique. Say, yeah, we want to do hard work there as a party that we need to give the thing to Canada Agyapong. I was also advising Canada Agyapong, the chairman from the chairman,
Pamo, yeah.
But this is Afoko,
yeah.
Uncontested chairmanship. Canada Agyapong uncontested general secretary.
Okay.
It is part of the reconciliation move.
Okay.
Canada Agyapong president Onya. Oma general secretary support him say because after all, he has demonstrated he has a lot of trust about organizing the party.
Wow.
You get the point. Now can focus you for the chairman man. Say yeah mubone. Say they should be able to
yeah.
I think that people should be making those proposals.
Yeah.
Never leadership no. Canada Agyapong action man. Nomra. Yeah, running party, running nation, and we always are. Ghana, look at what has happened in Burkina Faso. Is he a professor?
No.
Is he an economist?
No, please.
But look at what is happening there. Who told you economists in the government? A leader doesn't have to be an economist before he can rule a nation.
Yeah.
Because from a consumer personally, there's nothing like a cons. A facade. When we economists always together. So I go the finance minister and NEC economists be any cigar.
Okay.
And to be carried the course of Ghana, you catch it up. And you book massam. In practice, no economists are succeeded as a president.
Yeah.
And the way I can mean now, the foot when you have to money.
Okay.
The idea is look, there is talent. And the idea is what does it? Will be all talent or gift. You can never challenge him.
Yeah.
But you must have 50 years, but you can never challenge the one who was born with it. It's innate. It will be on what you about creating employment the Ghana has will be at least for those doing politics. create employment. Or that's what you. That's what the teacher Juma.
Yeah.
Was the main parameter or when the fundamentals are weak.
Exchange will expose you.
And
it has exposed them though.
The Ministry of Digitization near the Baumiatwa no. So former vice president Adom because of your expertise.
Okay.
Yeah, not I can supervise no.
Okay.
Or come along what is that not what we want in this country?
Yeah.
There are people who not come and MBBC also and this is also ora. Yeah, much change go for.
Yeah.
The president that time should have checked all those things.
Yeah.
Look at national service, how embarrassing media.
Yeah.
You can't some but assuming it is true, is it not embarrassing?
Yeah.
And if you're a leader and this thing goes on under you, you should blame yourself.
Yeah.
That's why I want a leader. I'm also going to say this. Sebi manini kakra.
Yeah.
Mahunsu adiyebi. Omandi be a leader.
Yeah.
Ghana is at the apron. Say a leader.
Good leader.
Ghana besisa.
Okay.
You see leader because some of them are leaders.
Okay.
What does it?
Yeah.
They are not leaders.
Yeah.
If you have a leader, you see things changing.
Okay.
And I don't go by. I said, oh yeah, school, yeah, hospital scene.
Yeah.
I your mama baby.
Yeah.
But because he didn't show leadership, look at how miserable he left office.
Yeah.
What does it?
Yeah.
This will be sorry answer. That's not the leader's work. Imposing yourself on the people.
Yeah.
You are irritating them.
Yeah.
Some of the things they will say are critical. That is not leadership. Yeah. So if I'm not insulting people and I can't provide leadership, you think that is good for the country? And Canada, Japan, or no, our country is Wasakra. He has openly said it, and he's living it because now he hardly comes.
He even said it last Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Ntim, let us forget about the part B. Yeah, yes, in the casa, and yeah, the other. Yeah, Papa no bit my Yama Ghana. No.
Okay.
If we give him 8 years, Ghana will not be the same.
Yeah.
What do I say? Yeah. No, I set it tone for leadership.
Okay.
Because for a long time we have not seen a leader.
Yeah.
Kofi came closer. Because no opinions.
Yeah.
What do I say? What do you first book Nancy Muma you fail.
Okay.
In fact, Bunia said that person a be failed. Yaman for no IMF now they are there to ensure that we continue to be poor. People don't know. They think that they are helping us. They are never helping us. They have been set. It's an agenda.
Yeah.
To make sure Africa is impoverished forever.
Okay.
And to match on the bonoma of conditionalities. Hippic time, yeah, woman. Hippic no one. Tell woman. Aye, Royal's time. You know, the buy, you know, Ghana, and the man on Abu Canada, Japan, Melody.
Okay.
You know a difference.
Okay.
In politics and how an individual can turn the nation around. You know, disadvantages now.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier on, there seems to be an agenda.
Yeah.
Would they stop to bottom approach? Because some kind former running mate was going about telling people say the chairman support to.
Okay.
Eventually it came to pass. It is said just before the regional chairman, they met them.
Okay.
So now the issue is not even about that.
Okay.
But it is about how effective the top to bottom approach will be and how it can help the party.
Okay.
Already we are complaining about say partners are inclusivity be. You per se obia only party.
Yeah.
And you say also expanding base. Recommended by the committee. So what the party should have done was to have started from July.
Yeah.
A year police station election. Near a baby January no. Near we.
Okay.
You got a point?
Yeah.
And you know, almost the time, you were time being anywhere. June. July, police station. August, constituency. September,
October.
What does it?
Yeah.
And so the pretense that there's no time, I don't get it. I've known that Shishika.
Yeah.
Please, what can bring the party together is the bottom to top approach.
Okay.
And the conference and rejected our proposal.
Okay.
We come back.
Okay.
We invested in reforming the party from the bottom to the top.
Okay.
When we do that, everybody will say,
Okay.
Instead of changing the album completely, let us add more.
Add more.
Now, if you are there, it's okay.
Yeah.
Let's add a little bit, not just 2, More.
Say 5.
5.
5 no so far matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's add more so that we can get more people.
Yeah.
All executive officers. We'll be hold the executive office in the party. Committee member, regional executive, national. Everybody should vote. Now, one of the things that process will cure is the monetization.
Yeah.
Adeba kwe di party ninya pa. Senko for digits can be sumoto.
Yeah.
It be free.
Yeah.
TV.
7,000.
And you won't in China who are you will not.
Yeah.
And so that explains why it is wise to start from the base to the top.
Yeah.
The American fundamentally it is fraud. If I don't say December general election, I say it's possible.
Yeah.
Because I'm to police station December. 1 month to mean campaign.
Yeah.
Throughout the country. Candidates also be police station by police station. So you 3-4 police station a day. Over 69 days.
Okay.
And we are 3 hours over 90 something days.
Yeah.
That's 3 months for you.
Yeah.
As how can you elect the police station the month after? Campaign.
Yeah.
That is also something they should be thinking about. So they should reject it. Conference should reject it. Let us come to the table. Committee normative and legal committee normative, Frank, they should take it from him.
Okay.
And give it to other people to do because he's the cause. For him to have proposed this, he is part of the agenda.
Okay.
That agenda in any way will not work.
Okay.
I feel some pro, can the Japan by the election.
Okay.
But let us do something that will not cause problem after the election.
Okay.
That is my prayer. Only any idea after election.
Okay.
I do confusion back.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we na say Kenko winia. But me for now because I'm here top to bottom. Yeah, bottom to top.
Okay.
Na we are you defeat ya 18 ya 20%. Ono go say sa emo ya. Ono go say emo ya. We want change, we want power.
Okay.
So that is the way to go.
Okay. So far, there were 88 MMDCs, a former MMDCs, and what trauma support. And Dr. Alaji Mahmoud Baumia. Do you think, say, you're right? So, ye omonim, bibisana.
That's me about the chair also. Na, and you will be called so, to first primaries.
Okay.
Especially the personality of Alaji Baumia.
Okay.
And his contest as a leader of PPP. You call so.
Okay.
Your course, you know. Any mass I introduce any partner who the mobile MMC
DC is the phone.
Attempt to me any parliamentarians attempt to me.
Okay.
That was the trend for the last election.
Okay.
And you lose support.
Okay.
And you know, say you be a sure idea if it's your idea can you see a repeat?
Okay.
And to be sincere with you. In person be names.
Okay.
But some seminal can boa. And kuntumpo.
Okay.
I'm never MMC DC for the example. Yeah, now for me from I called them on phone. Bishops Nadina Mako almost in they make a declaration where your cock or chair be away, but I could sort of be bad. Young cock declaration also. Unquai Jai. I don't couldn't anymore yet.
We have press conference.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so some of them were paid to do that.
Okay.
You get the point.
Okay.
And you come to the parliamentarians, for instance.
Yeah.
Me pay a call home, me head count. It's TV. I can. They're 26.
26, yeah.
And for Baumia to come out to say they were 60.
60, yeah.
60, 67,
68.
I am sure he might have been given a list.
Okay.
But the impression okay, so my band 100 here. And you know,
okay.
That's why I say I don't want to call names.
Names, okay.
Now, it's also a test for call her university.
Yeah.
And also story of her.
Okay.
But these are some of the things I did disunity about party.
Okay.
For instance, MMCs almost some call you
Brian Champon. Yeah.
What is your declaration of her? What do I say?
Debbie.
Parliamentarians, 54 of them met Japan long before they went to Baumia.
Okay.
What is here a press conference? You say, I 54 to support.
Maybe.
And so you can see the trend. A futuna ye to know. Baumia actually for the Omo
okay.
They believe that Chinchina or say they can and now the Yamani Timber winning, or sign you, but you reckon who?
Okay.
MPs As at no more parliament, no. I swear to show about 88.
Yeah.
MPs no be any ministers say, Omo Jenko asum bi as. And the onye na adwene say okoma MPs bi sika say mo meka say mo declare man. No be bisa ba ko say lawyer, you huru eni mu nkoso nti you need them to do what they are doing.
Okay.
So what it tells you is that genuinely we have a large chunk of MPs coming to our fold. I mean, what is even interesting? Yeah, me yamushimi say MPs in Kenya hono in 37%.
Wow.
Without MPs in there. What kind 10 MPs quite means a lot to our campaign.
Yeah.
You get the point?
Yeah.
We use the old album.
Yeah.
We have 36%.
Yeah.
MMCs, MPs, ministers, including the president. Yeah. Now all of them are out. The president is out.
Okay.
The chief of staff is out. Yes, so about your campaign. Yeah. The minister. So it is a done deal.
Okay.
And the out of those statistics, Nama Baumia, IGT. And now adopt to all kind of inferior tactics to create the impression he's popular. But look, let's look at the election results. I like to speak about this or speak to this when it comes to Baumia because on the data that you and the data be anyway accurate election results. Yeah. Because they are kind of predictions. Yeah. Forecasting. Yeah. But results with the forecasting. I got to about yeah. What did I say? Ask yourself. So with this kind of results now, say assuming say the Baumia na economic reasons, the MPP and this be unpopular. What's the bit me again? I can't do a bit money 50+1. It's impossible. It's impossible. You get the point. Oko regions now 0, 1, 1, 1, 1. Central 4 they say Asante and Eastern Kwana to my and Baumia came to the contest with two backgrounds. One, I'm a Muslim. Yeah. Muslims are predominantly NDC. Yeah. By history. Yeah. And I'm a Northerner. Yeah. The North is the stronghold of NDC. NDC. Yeah. And with that ticket, I'll be able to make a change. Yeah, winning. Yeah. That was all. Yeah, cost supporting campaign man after the primaries. Yeah. That was our belief. Yeah. Zongos kept on promising some of that. They ended up voting against me. People say that religion did not influence the election. I'm saying, how can you say this? I'll not even talk about the Christians. Let me talk about Muslims. And tell us your religion. Yeah. Why did we lose in all the Zongos? Yeah. One reason the Muslims did not vote for Baumia. Why? Yeah. Even though he was one of his. Because they said so on practicing good Islam. Yeah. Or called mosque. Or called church. A big communion. Yeah. Or called shrine. Yeah. Or called. I am not going to condemn him for that, but that's what they are saying. Yeah. And it's against their rule also. Yeah. Ask yourself this question. Within a period of 4 years, would that mindset change? If it will, then the Baumia will be a good candidate. But if it will not, you can't send him back. Because he has no base. Okay. If the Muslims believe he did that, then I can't wire indelible. Yeah. They almost sound too many. Yeah. And the party, you risk the chance of losing the election again. Okay. What do I say? Okay. Then to the north. Okay. Just before the election, about a month to the election, we go to Tuo. And as Baumia facilitated all the Kusazi and other tribes decided to gang up against him. Okay. That's the reason why we performed so badly in the north. Okay. And then we had that result. Okay. Will it change within 4 years? No, please. Will the Kusazi vote for a Mamprusi? No, please. And we a party that's up a power. Why do you go and choose a Mamprusi to go and contest on your ticket when you know that the majority in the north are Kusazis? They say only 1.2 million population nationwide. Look at the settler communities. Western North, Ahafu. Yeah. We lost because of them. Yeah. That is where they are. Okay. And do your analysis we are. Now your party. You don't even have to think of choosing Baumia. Because you see, let us stop behaving as if without Baumia, we have nobody to lead our party. Yeah. Because Baumia came to the party, it was then an intellectual party, 2008. A real man is a sign, intellectual is a sign of the Buga and the running party. Everything you do is Buga. Okay. Agyapong, Afoko, it has come to light that it was a mafia that they used to throw them out. The evidence is now there. Yeah. Who caused them? Exactly. That kind of practice is what has led us here. Okay. And to me, sir, Obi or a delegate. And that's what can be. Look, this politics that we are doing, it is for power. Yeah. Nothing more, nothing. I'm saying this say power near What about the they had a little bit of money during his time, so they can wait. We can't wait for 3 times.
Okay.
What do I say?
Yeah.
We also need appointments.
Yeah.
My minister, I'll be very happy.
Okay.
I bet me CV.
Yeah.
So why do I wait for 3 terms?
Okay.
You get the point.
Yeah.
And those of you who think that power is good, positions are good. Me focus on campaigning.
Yeah.
We making sure say the party interests about first.
Okay.
We are now. Look, we met some MPs.
Okay.
I will be quiet. And their names are not put.
Yeah.
I will not mention their names here.
Okay.
Women and Kofi say a state coach that moment. Say the only problem MPP has now is Omia.
Okay.
The disunity, the contest, everything is around him. The moment we vote against MPP will be united again.
Okay.
Because his selection was done through dubious means. And I have them as a meeting during the said, yeah, 10 year, 2 year, 2 months. You know, sir, the president forced the election on you. You should know this is a clear idea. I wouldn't credit him.
Okay.
What did I say?
Yeah.
And he lost because he wasn't popular with the party.
Yeah.
And his personality and involvement in government. The dollar issue, can I say, I don't know, your man go for 2 years.
Yeah.
And other things that he said which he couldn't implement. Yeah. Whether he was the one who did or Nanado or his cousin who did it. He was the head of the economic management team.
Yeah.
And okay. When I say, Bomia is the head of the economic management team. Yeah. And you see, a Jin 7 and go for pension, see, yeah, more you get the point. Yeah. So all this is me. I don't believe Bomia caused it. But that is what the people are saying.
Yeah.
And that is what going to influence their voting.
Yeah.
So you can't ignore